Are we talking about reconciliation among ethnic groups in this country? Are we talking about reconciliation as in there was a previous inequality under a previous regime, for example, and you want to bring about an equality among these people, maybe among the women and the men in this country? Okay, so I think for me, when I start thinking about reconciliation, that is where I start. I think an important thing is to realize that in Namibia, we have a policy of reconciliation. It was addressed, but it's not the same as in other countries. There are many different ways to go about this process. And again, I see reconciliation as a process. It's an ongoing, continuous thing, not just something that happened once. For example, in South Africa, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that was established, and you had the commission, and of course after that is reconciliation. Reconciliation just doesn't happen if you say, okay, we are now reconciled. My understanding of reconciliation is that it's an ongoing process where we continually deal with it until we have reached, if we can say, an adequate level of reconciliation. So in Namibia, we opted for the amnesty method. Okay, so in the theories or whatever about reconciliation, there are different methods that one can go. In some countries, people have opted for the chase the people that were wronged down, and they must be punished. So in Germany, for example, after the Holocaust, after the genocide, that is what people did. They had trials and tribunals, and people were punished. In South Africa, there was a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. People spoke the truth in order to bring reconciliation, but there was also amnesty granted in order as an incentive for people to speak out. In Namibia, we decided to say, everyone has amnesty. It doesn't matter on what side of the fight you fought yourself, of the fight you found yourself, everyone gets granted amnesty. So in that sense, it means that all the wrongs that were done, we're not going to open it up. We're not going to go into detail about it. We are rather going to put it in the past and go forward. Now, the amnesty method for me is problematic in the sense that it means those that are in a beneficial position, right? It's okay for them to say, let's leave the things in the past and let's just look forward. In Namibia, most white people, if not all white people, were very comfortable with this option. And I'm a result, hi, Afrikaans white woman sitting here. I'm a result of the decision to keep white people in this country, and I'm very happy that I got to stay, but I also realized that the previous generation of white people were not also held accountable in this hope that we would have a reconciliation by giving everyone the same opportunity of leaving the past behind. Okay, so for my opinion, the amnesty method works well for elites, but it doesn't work well for everyone. Okay, so I think that's the gist of what I wanted to highlight. But the other thing that I wanted to bring up is we talked about reconciliation immediately after independence, and I think a lot of people might have then felt there were other things that were more important to maintain peace in the country, and that it might have been too early to talk about reconciliation. And now people might be saying, why bring it up now? 30 years onwards, it's too late to talk about reconciliation. So my question is there ever then a correct time to talk about reconciliation? Because it's not a comfortable conversation, right? And especially also for elites, it's not comfortable. So he spoke about restorative justice or retributive justice. And that's another thing that comes in. What should be done in order to bring about this equality? That's how I understand reconciliation. There was a previous inequality, racial, ethnic, gender, under the apartheid regime. And now we want to bring about an equality. But how are we actually going to attain that? And I think the conversation for many about reconciliation is a lot of people are talking about the economic aspect of it, the socio-economic inequality that persists in this country, and that reconciliation is very much tied to socio-economic reconciliation. I also followed the discussions in Parliament on this topic now for the past few days, and there was also the suggestion to ask the question, should we reopen old wounds and have the full discussion, or should we just focus on the socio-economic restoration aspect of it? And it's an interesting question. But anyway, either which one of those you choose, it's still not a comfortable, straightforward conversation or path to that. So yeah, that's where I just wanted to introduce my first thoughts. So I will leave it there.